The closet. I didn't know where to start. I had already made 2 quilt panels for the Congress that supposedly explained how I felt about this disease. One was about the loss of my beloved shoes, my beloved high-heeled shoes, and the other was about the day I was diagnosed. But then there was that comment on Facebook. The woman said that I reminded everyone that it wasn't just about the losses of physical things. Made me stop and think. What was I really trying to say? What did I really feel? What did I really fear? Well, my shoe panel was about my shoes. It was a jumble of all my shoes, a colorful jumble of patent leather pumps and high-heeled boots and leopard skin things. It was everything was in a pile, and it was colorful. The only thing they had in common was high heeled. In fact, in the bottom there was 2 big red lips, my lips, kissing them goodbye, but also thanking them for their contribution to my life. They're still in my closet. In fact, here they all are right now. Here's my wedding shoes. These are the shoes that I wore to marry the love of my life, the man who's behind the camera taking this video right now, and who is often there beside my holding my arm, helping me to walk these days. These black patent leather pumps are the pumps that I wore when I received my PhD degree in clinical psychology at the University of Rochester. They went perfectly well with my cap and gown. These amazing red snakeskin leather pumps were what I wore when I christened our first nephew. These absolutely astounding leopard skin red flowered sandals are Dolce & Gabbana's that I got $1/4 of the price on eBay. I wore them to a Shishi La La wedding on Long Island with a strapless red gown that had a train. I could hardly walk in them. In fact, it was the first time I noticed that I could hardly walk in any high-heeled shoes. But I wore them anyway. These are all still in my closet. You're wondering what this has of any relevance to this? Well, it has a lot of relevance. When you first look at a Parkinson's patient, you see a Parkinson's patient sitting there, probably drooling, just slowed down by this disease. But that person is really far more than what you see. They're sitting there, they have a lot of things in their closets, a lot of high-heeled pumps in their closets. They have probably advanced degrees, happy families, many travels across the world, probably Nobel Prizes, songs that have affected millions, prayers that have affected miracles. They are far more than what they appear. People are far more than what they appear to be. And then I received this letter, this card from my sister-in-law. I had this disease for 13 years before I shared this information with my in-laws because I didn't want to burden them with the fact until my symptoms became noticeable, and they just recently became noticeable. And she sent this to me. It affected me very greatly. In fact, it affected me the way I want this video to affect you. So let me share it with you. It says, "Dear Christine, I saw your video. It took my composure away. It made me weep. What it must have taken to compose the quilted shoe story, all colorful and glamorous. What it must have taken to wrap it up pretty and bow-like, to bid it farewell and send it off. I suppose I might guess where that carriage came from, where that resolution was born, so many shoe boxes ago. You know, my mother always said you can judge a man's character by his shoes, and to not be fooled by the appearance of a man whose shoes are shoddy or dirty. Of course, she also said never to trust a shoemaker whose work was to fix shoddy shoes. It's bad company. So I suspect that your shoes never got shoddy because you cared about them so. Actually, it was because I had so many shoes. And you gave them a righteous place in our life where they were allowed to make a statement and to accompany you on your adventures and to keep you standing tall and to allow you to rest when your spirit was weary. Like your character, you cared for them so, and in the end, they became you. and now people remember you by them. Like they remember your character and your person. They remember you. You are impossible to forget. You've always been a person of such presence, uniquely beautiful and over-the-top bold, ultimate in your style, flairful. And so, I have a strange story to tell you. Every week I dust the house. I dust the furniture and remember my father's pieces. I dust Katie's bedroom and wonder what she's doing at that moment. I dust the piano and hear the music I once played. I dust the mound of books and the small bookcase and my father's wooden box that sits at the top shelf. Alongside of the globe we keep track of your travels of Joey and you, to places we are not sure of. I dust the family wooden statue you gave us. I make a makeshift shrine, I suppose, that inadvertently became pieces of family life. The quilted shoe story stuck to me that day. I sat on the recliner near the bookcase, dusted 1,000 times over. Near the globe were a pack of photos, clearly old in the familiar photo folder. That Joe, I thought, he must have been digging through the basement and left them there for me to find. That Kate, I thought, she came home this weekend, a pleasant surprise, and brought home photos. 1,000 times I dusted that bookcase, that globe, that wooden box. 1,000 times I never saw those photos. I thought I would never leave photos in a place that needed to be dusted. And there, on top of that pile, was a picture of you and Joey. You are wearing your high-heeled red shoes. Strange surprises in common places. Reminders never to forget what is important to remember. Counting blessings, paying attention to life, and being awake in it. You are our one-of-a-kind Aunt Christine, and we do love you so. Love, Carmela. Thank you, Carmela. It made me cry, and it will always make me cry. Thank you so much, Carmela. And so, those of you watching this video, go home, kiss your loved ones, and make your bucket list to fill your closets, and seize the day. Oh, and by the way, on a note more concrete than this, in place of shoes now, hats have taken over, and my closets are bursting once again, and so is my life. Joe, please, my hat. You see, there are not just shoes in life. There are many things. And don't I look fabulous?